Hello everyone, welcome back. After our Govardhan Parikram, the same day in the evening, we visited Nidhivan. In Nidhivan, the belief is that Lord Krishna performs Ras Leela every night. So this temple closes by 7ish and opens only by 9 in the morning. A bed of sandalwood is spread across the area and a jar of water and some pan is kept. You can find that all this has been used and the belief is that Krishna does this every night. My logical mind does not let me believe this at all, and I suspect the hands of human in this. Leaving such stories aside, the temple is beautifully adorned with unique trees with entangled branches. The belief is that these one tulsis turn into gopikas in the night. There were very few people when we went there. It is written here that no one should take mud from here, but I did see a lady gathering some mud in a plastic packet without any official noticing. I really don't know if the soil here holds any importance to the devotees. From here we took an e-rickshaw and we reached Banki Bihari temple within 5 minutes. This is a temple that you just should not miss. The black Krishna idol here is said to have stolen the hearts of many devotees. Banki means bent, and Krishna's idol is bent in 3 places here, the Tribhanka posture. There are many stories surrounding this place. You may or may not believe in them, but once you visit here, you will agree that the beauty of the black Krishna here is just too attractive. The idol is said to have emerged in Nidhivan in 1500s. Banki Bihari was very crowded when we went, and the narrow by-lanes that reached the temple were also full of people and we had to wait for very long to enter the temple. Crowd management is bad, and the worst part is that as the entrance and exit are different though nearby, after praying we and all the others had to jump across a fence and cross the devotees waiting for Krishna's glimpse to get footwear, which were obviously near the entrance of the temple. This made the rush even worse. A bit of planning can go a long way in creating a better atmosphere for people. Next day morning, we travelled to Mathura, which is about 15 kilometers from Vrindavan. Our first stop was at Krishna Janmabhoomi temple. This complex is heavily protected. You have to keep all electronic items in your car like phone, camera, etc. Then your car key should be deposited outside. The ancient temple which was erected at the birthplace of Krishna was destroyed by Aurangzeb and a mosque was built in the complex. This temple structure here is said to have been destroyed and rebuilt 17 times. No wonder it is a very sensitive place. Inside the temple complex, you can find what is supposedly the exact place of the birth of Krishna. It is constructed like a prison cell. Then there are other beautiful temples also within the complex and all are very neatly maintained. Just like how Krishna was carried from the prison cell to Gokul after his birth, we also travelled to Gokul after spending a good time in the temple complex here. We have to pass Yamuna and Gokul is about 10 kilometers from Mathura. On the way to Gokul, we stopped at Raman Reddy temple. It is believed that Krishna and his friends used to play in sand here, and so you can see devotees also sitting and playing with sand. Opposite the temple, there is a deer park. Gokul is the place where naughty Krishna made his parents happy with his little mischiefs and gave them lots of laughter and love. So here we are to pray for our parents and ancestors. There are guides available for just ₹50 to show you around, but they'll coax you into paying donations for Goshala and the priest would just keep demanding more and more money. It is believed that the exchange between little Krishna and Yogamaya happened in this Yashoda Bhavan. Nand Bhavan is a stone structure with many rooms. and is very old, unlike most other temples in Mathura Vrindavan. It is believed that out of the 84 pillars here, 4 are made by Vishwakarma, and these 4 pillars are intricately carved unlike the rest. There is a temple for Balram and his wife Revati. There is also a Shiva temple under a banyan tree, which people tie cloth when their wish is fulfilled, and there are a few other deities also. After this, we went back to Mathura. We wanted to visit the museum there, but it was closed on Mondays. So then we tried visiting Kans Killa. But it was very hard for us to find, and once we found it, we realized that we were the only ones there, and there were too many monkeys, and the monkeys here in Mathura and Vrindavan are actually notorious. They snatch away things that you have, especially glasses that you wear. So at many places in Mathura, it is better not to wear specs, because once they take it away, you have to buy and give them something to eat, and only then will the monkeys give it back to you. It has happened in front of me, so please be careful. Obviously, we cannot blame the monkeys. It is us humans who have taught them such a technique. But the view of Yamuna from here is very beautiful. Then we visited Dwarakadish temple, which was a bit crowded, and from there we walked to see Yamuna Aarati at Vishram Ghat, which happens at 7:30. It is believed that Krishna rested here in Vishram Ghat after killing Kansa. But as I mentioned before, please be careful of priests here. We simply wanted to enjoy a boat ride in Yamuna and see Vishram Ghat, and one more person had got inside the boat, and he was a priest, and we did not know that. So when we reached Vishram Ghat and he started lecturing, we had to cut it short because we had just come to see the Aarti and nothing else. The boat ride is mesmerizing and the Yamuna looks too beautiful. You can see the Kans Killa from here. Next day morning, we visited Sri Rangji Mandir. Built in 1800s, it has a South Indian touch. There is a small but beautiful Sheesh Mahal inside the temple. The last temple we visited before leaving the place was Madan Mohan Temple. This temple is considered the oldest temple of Vrindavan. You have to climb a little bit, but there is a very nice view from the top. It is near Kali Ghat. The temple was attacked by Aurangzeb in the 1600s, and so the original deity was shifted to Jaipur. It is sad that what you see here is just a replica of the idol. The belief is that Lord Krishna rested here after defeating Kaliya Nag. The temple was almost empty when we went there. But as soon as the pujari saw us, he started chanting some mantras loudly. And as we knew what he was up to, we picked up our pace of going down the stairs. We covered most temples. One temple I wanted to visit but did not get time was the ISKCON temple. If you can squeeze in that also, you would have covered most major temples here. My Madhura Vrindavan trip comes to an end here, and I really hope that you liked my video. Thank you.